So we've been waiting for some inkling from the establishment that they were going to try and replace Joe Biden. Well, today apparently, or yesterday, we got it. In late January, gossip site Radar Online published an article citing unnamed sources, quote, insiders who they say snitched on both Barack and Michelle Obama as thinking Joe Biden does not have the stamina to beat Donald Trump, let alone to govern for a second term. According to these sources, Barack Obama traveled to an emergency meeting with Joe Biden and, quote, read him the riot act, wanting him to step down, but apparently Joe is refusing to do so. It's totally unethical to print a direct quote from an unnamed source, especially a quote attributed to the person they are talking about. I mean, ethically, it's also not okay to use an unnamed source to make a claim and not try to verify it with someone who is willing to use their name. Sadly, most elite media outlets do not follow their own principles, especially when it comes to Donald Trump. The most recent example was the hearsay that was published by The Atlantic, New York Times, and Washington Post, quoting President Trump as calling war dead losers and suckers. Yes, that was only hearsay, secondhand. More hearsay added insult to injury as The Atlantic reported that Trump himself called off his helicopter ride on Marine One to the site of the Battle of Belleau Wood, 60 miles northeast of Paris. They said, he canceled it due to rain, plus he didn't want his hair ruined. And finally, Trump failed in not trying to get another means of transportation, such as going by motorcade, which would have taken roughly 2 hours, according to Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who added that the president made the decision because he did not want to disrupt traffic in Paris. But that wasn't good enough for Ben Rhodes, campaign advisor to Hillary Clinton in 2016 and a member of Obama's White House. Wow, a political opponent of President Trump clearly is an objective choice to comment on his decision not to drive the total of 4 hours. Especially since the next day, Sunday, was the main event at another battle site only 6 miles from Paris, which President Trump did attend. The Atlantic, in its God voice, along with its fawning sycophant, Vox, said that Trump was lying when he said the Secret Service told him he could not fly. But the Associated Press, to its credit, did report that it was the Marine Corps and the Secret Service who made the call. But the damage was done, as we can see from Biden's recent unhinged speech.
Donald Trump, when he was commander-in-chief, refused to visit a cemetery, U.S. cemetery outside of Paris for fallen American soldiers. And he referred to those heroes, and I quote, as suckers and losers. He actually said that. He said that. How dare he say that? How dare he talk about my son and all of us like that? Look, I call them patriots and heroes. The only loser I see is Donald Trump.
This from the guy who let 13 Marines be killed on August 26, 2021, as we withdrew from Afghanistan and then shrugged it off. But back to the report from Radar Online. I wanted to demonstrate that I don't put credence in reports from unnamed sources. However, this article was so detailed and spoke with so much authority that on a hunch, I just wanted to see who had been backing Radar Online and what was its history. I mean, this article explicitly laid out exactly what many have believed was going to be the playbook. I didn't believe that they would do this, but I've been wrong before. Michelle Obama is like a spiritual leader at this point. Since our society has been systematically stripped of all meaning and morality, people are looking to someone. But president? Well, listen to the way she talks. When you realize that the people she aligns with are all about spectacle and theater and virtue signaling and lies about what really happened the last 4 years, you will see that they've found their moral rock star.
Think about what would possibly compel you to accept this level of chaos, violence, and confusion under this president and be willing to watch our country continue to spiral out of control. Because we can no longer pretend that we don't know exactly who and what this president stands for.
I think there's a 60-40 chance that she's going to run. They can do that at the convention. Next, on Rumble, I'll be exploring Radar Online's weird history. Radar Online has a very interesting history. It had gone bankrupt in 2005, stopped publishing, then it actually got an infusion of cash, $25 million to keep running from then New York Daily News owner Mortimer Zuckerman and Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, the financier Jeffrey Epstein has now, pledged $25 million to keep Radar Online going. My friends, some of you have heard me say that I was going to put out a video on Rumble that was going more in depth on this, and I am going to. But I've been delayed even putting out this, and so I'm going to get this out, and I'll let you guys know when the deeper story is finished. As always, we would love it if you would subscribe, share, like, comment, and criticize. And above all, keep calm and share complete facts. See you soon.